Getting started with Focus First has a couple of key steps that you want to make sure you accomplish so that the software runs correctly and that your settings are set how you want them. Now, first what you have to do is log in. Now, on the thank you page, you create your email and your password for logging in. So if you know that, all you have to do is type them in here and you're good to go. If you can't remember what your password is, click the Forgot Password link here, which will open up a window where you can type in your email. We will then send you a reset link to that email where you're able to kind of reset your password. Now, if you do that, please note it can take 10 to 15 minutes at times, just basically the way the process works. And a lot of times it will show up in your spam folder. So before clicking this a couple different times, give it a couple minutes, check your spam folder because it's coming from the Google backend system. And so sometimes it just kind of gets directed there. But once you get that, you're good to go. You can come back to login and you can log in. Obviously mine autofills right here, but you would just kind of put it in there. Now, if you got overzealous when you signed up a little bit, and that's totally understandable, and you kind of skipped the whole create your sign-in option, what you're going to do is click this option down here at the bottom, click that says sign up. When you click sign up here, you have the option to put in your email and then creating your password like you would on that thank you page. Now, what's really important about this, though, is to make sure you use your same email that you used when you signed up for Focus First. When you signed up for Focus First Visual Home Values, that email is what gives you the permissions to access the site. So you want to make sure you use the exact same email here, and then you can create whatever password you want, but that email is how we check that you have permissions to be part of the login. Once you do that and have it correct, all you gotta do is go back to login, enter your information, and click login. Now when you first log in, you're gonna see this little welcome page. And this welcome page kind of gives you just an overview of how the software lays out, how to do some of the basic controls, in a simple way than watching the long form tutorials like you are now. But one thing we're gonna have to make sure we do is agree the terms and service. This is just us telling you that we're not sharing your data, we're not kind of doing anything like that, we're selling your name and information to anybody for marketing purposes or anything like that. We are a very private held and private oriented company, so your data is your data. We don't even keep a backup of it. You get to keep it on your little slice of the cloud, and when you delete it or use it, it has nothing to do with us. So in this case, we're just letting you know that this is kind of the agreement for us and how it works regarding your data and how we kind of register that. So go ahead and check this checkbox saying I have read and agree, and click Let's Start Pricing. Now when you open yours, you actually won't see any reports here, so I'm going to delete these to show you what that looks like. It'll be kind of a blank page here that has nothing because you haven't created anything yet. As you create more reports, they will populate in this bottom area here. Now before we get to creating reports though, we're really working on just getting started. So we've created our login, we've agreed to terms of service. Now the last step we have to do in order for the software to work correctly, and it really comes down to understanding the process. You're going to do your MLS search in your MLS, you're going to export that file, and then you're going to load it into the software on the proper step as we go through creating reports. Now there's one little step here before we can say we're done with the getting started, which is to make sure your MLS export is set up correctly, and that way it's getting the data from your MLS that we need in the software. Now to do that, we're going to walk step-by-step process based on your MLS individually. So click right here on the Find Your MLS Export Instructions, and this will open up our instructions page. All you have to do is go to your state first, and then scroll down until you find your area or your MLS that kind of covers it. Click this, and then there's step-by-step instructions that you're going to walk through to make sure that you're exporting the right fields so that we get what we need and that we kind of set this up one time and it works every time. Once you've done this, you're now ready to come back to the software and ready to start using it in the way that we need to. Now, as you go through this and create reports, you'll be able to customize reports, change settings, and really make things kind of key to your template. But this is the biggest getting started step that a lot of people really need to stick on, is this export set up correctly. Once you do that, you're able to create your reports, and each report process will actually walk you through how to do your search correctly. But when you have that set up right, it loads in and it works like magic. So you've created your login, you've agreed to terms and service, and now you know where to find your MLS export and setups. Go do that now, and once you're done with that, you're ready to come in and start using the software, hopefully to create your first real estate review. If you are having trouble or feel a little stuck on this getting started step, there's a couple resources and a couple places to look to get help and really make sure you get this set up correctly. All you have to do is click this question mark button here and you'll see our help area open up. Now we have a couple different options. The first one is getting started, which really opens up that kind of welcome menu we first saw when we first opened the software. A recent changes location to see what kind of new updates have happened, to see if maybe that thing you're stuck on is something that got recently fixed. The Open User Guide will take you to the Software Online User Guide, where you can kind of search for different articles on every control to help you along the process. Tutorials will bring you to the tutorials page, where you'll be able to find videos like this. And if you're really stuck, Contact Support allows you to email support@FocusFirst to start a ticket, and if you need help one-on-one, even set up an online meeting. Hopefully you don't need that, but if you do need that, just remember it's under the question mark in the top bar, and then you select your option that's going to give you the best help.